Okay, I just walked out the door. We're gonna walk over to the gym. I am out here super late tonight. I got way more distracted than I thought I would. I was actually doing the voiceover work for the first video, so I didn't realize I was gonna talk that long, but put us way behind. Hopefully, I'll be able to film everything without a problem. Like I said, it's getting to the point where I'm not sure if somebody will come in or not. So if I miss some footage, I apologize now, but I'll do my best to get as much as I can. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna try to keep that rest period, or try not to mess around as much while I'm here. Get this workout done. See you inside. Hello and welcome back for another episode of Living Patron. Today's video is going to be a back workout with abs and some leg work in it. So let's get right into the first exercise. We are going to start with the pull-up. Now, I don't know about you, but I hate doing pull-ups. It took me a long time to get pull-ups back into my workout. I find they're very difficult for me. The pull-up area that I have at my gym is not really that great. You can see I have to bend my knees to use it. It'd be better if I could be more straight up and down. So it's not the best option, but I still keep it in there. I think pull-ups are very important to work. It's one of the hardest things that I do besides dips. Some of these free weight exercises I find extremely difficult. So I really do keep them in there, even though I don't like doing them. You can see that I use the resistance band here to help me with the pull-up, just because I cannot get the numbers that I want to get with a regular pull-up. And then I am supersetting with this, I don't really know what to call it. It's like a Superman type exercise, like a Superman type press. I can't even remember what I put the name of it on. It's in the workout description. I don't even know if there's a name for it. I think I saw this on I could have swore that I saw it in a Athlete X video, but I can't. I tried to go back and find the name of it, but I was having a hard time finding the name of it. That exercise might actually be switched out for a different exercise that I saw him do with bands recently, which is very similar to it. The setup's a little bit different, but it looks like it's hitting the same thing. So I might switch to that, because sometimes using that dumbbells, it's hard to really get a good, like, it's a very hard exercise to do. It's very underrated. Like, you don't need a lot of weight to do it. You can do it with just body weight, because those muscles don't get worked a lot back there. So that is it is a good workout. Like I said, I could not find the video where it was in of his, but I swear it was one of his things that I saw. But again, I might be changing that out for a banded resistance band workout that looks very, very similar. So I'm probably going to try that on my next back workout. But like I said, these pull-ups, man, they're hard. I can only get but so many. And you can see, like, here, I'm kind of between weights doing this Superman type exercise. I can't even remember what. Still, the name of it's killing me. That's, like I said, I haven't looked in the description, but when you're between weights, it's even harder, because I can't keep the weights off of the whole idea is to keep the weights off the ground. So, we'll see. Like I said, I think I'm just going to change it out. Is the best idea I can come up with. But yeah, I really do not enjoy doing pull-ups, but like I said, they're hard. Put them in your workout if you can. Like I said, it took me some time to build up back to them. I mean, I think I'm only getting like 5 or 6 here, 5, 4, 3, you know what I'm saying? And then I use the band to kind of supplement that. And that's why I superset this exercise with something else, so that I can get more work in it, because I'm only getting really low numbers. But, do them. If you have something that's hard like this, I always put it at the beginning. Usually like a heavy movement or a hard movement, I tend to put earlier on when I'm fresher. This way it makes it a little bit easier for me to do. But like I said, take your time. not everyone's going to be able to do pull-ups. If you have that pull-up machine at your gym, that's another really good option too, because the movement is just really good. So that's why, like I said, that's why I keep it in there. I'm kind of rambling on about this, but yeah, if you can do pull-ups, do them. If not, use a resistance band. If you have resistance bands, if you have the machine, use the machine as well, because it's just a good exercise. Uh, and then you wouldn't have to superset with something like I'm doing here. But it kind of works. They kind of work some muscles that aren't used as much. So anyway, that's why I like it. Do what works for you. This is what's currently working for me, and you can see that I do switch my hands up. So I do like a chin up, not a chin up. Well, chin up is the more bicep, but I do kind of a little bit wider and then a little bit more tight on your body. So I'll do one, then the other, and I do obviously 4 sets. So I go back and forth. And just if you are using resistance band, just be careful. Don't whack yourself in the face. I almost whacked myself in the face using this, getting out of it. All right, moving into the first ab exercise we're going to do. I don't do as much of this anymore. This is another Athlete X1. This is called his swiper, which is kind of where you're supposed to kind of swipe your hands underneath your butt to make sure that you're getting, that I guess your pelvis off of the ground, to make sure you're just not using all your hip flexors in this. I do this with a resistance band. It it's very hard with the resistance band. You can see I don't have constant tension on it the whole time, which is something I probably going to need to look at to make sure I'm doing that a little bit better. But it's obviously harder at that top of the motion to pull that resistance band. So like I said, and this does, because of some of the issues that I have with my low back and hip flexor area, it does kind of mess with me a lot. I don't do this as much as I used to, but still a good exercise. You don't need to use a resistance band with this. It is still good on its own. For me, like, I'm just kind of, if I don't have the resistance band, I don't really feel like I'm doing as much. So that's why I do it with the resistance band, just because it's a little bit easier for me now. But it is a good exercise on its own. Like I said, an Athlete X called the swiper. Okay, we are now moving into the incline bench dumbbell row. I actually really like this exercise. Um, I find it a little bit easier just having your chest supported. I was doing a couple different exercises. I vary this. So in my back workouts, you will see that this first exercise after the pull-ups will change. It's the one that changes probably the most. I always do something a little bit different here. Like I said, like I have like 2 or 3 different exercises that I use. I really do like this one. I do this one, like a one arm one, and then like a bent over dumbbell row. So I guess I like all those exercises that I don't want to exclude them. So I just kind of rotate through them. which can be a little bit difficult sometimes because you forget which one you're doing. But yeah, I do like this exercise. This is a good one. Like I said, you can do this bent over. You can do this. Like I said, if you don't have access, I think you could probably throw a band in here some way. Maybe not with the bench, but maybe you can do it bent over, I think. But like I said, this is a good exercise. Really try to focus this one with really kind of squeezing my back. I don't know about you guys, but I do have like back is not one of the things that it's not one of my favorite muscle groups to work. I mean, it's hard to get that mind muscle connection. So, slowing down the movement and really trying to squeeze is one of those things. It's easy to go really quickly through a back movement. And then I'm supersetting this with the laying down hamstring curl machine. So I do one leg hamstring curls. I like to isolate the movement with my legs to make sure that so many times you just see two, people just doing it with two. If I have a chance to kind of isolate, I prefer the isolation, though it does take more time. So if you're pressed for time, do it with two. But I tend to have some imbalance, so that's really what I'm trying to work out here is working out that imbalance. So again, like I said, I do tend to like to do this single leg. Now I usually will do the weaker leg first, so that's a little tip. Do your weaker leg first, and I never try to. Whatever I can get with that weaker leg is exactly what I'll do with my stronger leg. I usually don't go farther than that. So that's just how I do it. And then just another little tip: always try to pull that machine up to start with both legs, just because you're at such a kind of like a stretch. You don't want to. I don't know. You don't want to like pop the muscle or do anything weird. And I'm not heavy enough weight to really mess with it, but just be cognizant of that. But this is definitely, you might not, if you have a sitting machine is good too. So, whichever one you prefer will work. Super excited about that. Now, it may sound strange, but I can tell that it's not that strange, but I can tell that my hamstrings are getting stronger, which I'm very happy about. It's been a long time. My hamstrings are, I think in the last video, or my first video, I talked about my glutes being weak. My hamstrings are also weak, so I tried to change some things around to try to focus more on them. So I'm actually pretty happy that it's starting to work. And the reason why I superset this is just to save some time. Like I said, you're working different muscle groups, so it saves me a little bit of time in the gym. If I have the opportunity, I was running a little bit behind in this workout, so I threw this in a little bit earlier. My back workout day tends to have a lot of movements in it, so if I can save time somewhere, I will. If I'm not pressed for time, I might. It just depends on where I put it. In this one, I just put it a little bit earlier. But again, I do like that. Like I just said, is the hamstring work is, it's something that is not. Your hamstrings are usually not as strong as your quads. So as I was saying, I've really had to work on this. To really start to develop them, and like I just said, as I am making some good progress, so I'm happy about that. I know some people don't like this machine, but again, this is the only machine that I have at this gym to do this. If you have the sitting one, it's a little bit better, but either one will be fine. I'm not using enough weight to really hurt myself or anything like that. So. But throw these in there. Make sure you're doing your hamstring work because, like I said, a lot of people tend to do a lot of quad work, but the hamstrings definitely get overlooked. So I definitely have some imbalance here, and that's why I'm trying to improve my hamstrings. 4 sets with 40 pound dumbbells. So that was did three sets, and then we did the last set. I did 9 reps on the 1.5 plate. So the one plate with the little accessory weight that comes down. So 9 reps like that, and then the rest I finished out to 14 on just the one plate. This next ab exercise, I could not find the name of this. The closest thing I came up with from I saw on Athlete X was like the frog V-ups. It's essentially, like a sit-up where you bring your legs up at the same time to kind of engage some of the lower abs. Now, I do this with a resistance band, and then I'm also holding a weighted ball just to make it a little bit tougher. Also, having the weighted ball just makes it a little bit easier, you can press into it. And maybe it adds a little bit more to make it harder to get up. Maybe it doesn't. I'm not 100% sure on that. You would think that it would because you're holding a weighted ball, but I guess that depends on where you're actually holding it. But this is definitely a good one. It's very simple. You don't have to do it with the ball. You don't have to do it with the resistance band. You can tailor this. You can regress it to how you want to. But it's definitely a good one that kind of works, both, your upper abs, and it gets, upper mid, and gets some of that lower, by bringing your legs up. So I do like this one as well. Most of my exercises I really think are pretty decent, but that's me. Maybe I'm biased, but it might be something different for you to give a try. Like I said, I've seen this. This is an Athlete X one that I saw, and then kind of added to it with the resistance band, and then using the ball. So we are doing now I believe this is called the V-bar like lat pull down. Basically just using the lat pull down machine. There's many options that you can use on a lat pull down machine. It just depends on which bars that your gym has, which is kind of cool because, you can definitely work different muscle groups on your back or different areas in your back depending on the bar. You can use a closer grip, wider grip, whichever one, you might feel. I tend to change this around, which is kind of why I like documenting this, so I kind of know what I did the last time I was there, because I don't always do the same thing, so it is hard to remember. So this time I'm just doing these. You can usually go a little bit heavier with the V-bar pulls. The hardest thing about this, with most of these lat pull downs is your hand and your grip sometimes. Maybe at some point I'll get some of those straps to help you. I find sometimes is when you start to get into certain weights, to certain heavier weights or more reps, is that your grip can sometimes be a limiting factor. I'm kind of in like a middle ground. I'm not, but only because I'm doing a decent amount of reps with a fair amount of weight. So like I said, I'm shooting for 14 reps, and I'm not going like super light or anything like that. I'm going somewhere like in a middle ground, not super heavy, but I'm trying to find something that has me fail around 12 to 14. If I get over 14, then I'm probably looking to up the weight. But this is, like, again, I really like the close grip, but I really kind of like all of them. But I always try to have I always usually try to use some sort of cable pull down, lat pull down machine. I really like having those in my workout. And then the next exercise that we're into here is I'm supersetting with this leg exercise. This is for your VMO, your vastus medialis. I just rubbed my leg again. It's kind of that inner part of your leg. I think that's what it's called. I know it's called VMO is the terminology for it. And this is a knees over toes exercise to really preferentially build that part of your leg muscle on the inside to really help protect your knee. Now you're seeing this where I've really regressed this quite a bit. So now where I can kind of use weight, it does take this is Ben Patrick's version of it, the way he does it. There's a couple different variations of this. This one has a little bit more ankle flexion in it, I think it's called. I'm not 100% on some of the things that I'm saying. I'm pretty close, but this requires a little bit more ankle mobility. So that's where I struggle with this, especially on my left side. I don't have quite the ankle mobility, so it makes it a little bit tough. Also, you're going to need some good balance to do this. And as I'm seeing, I can kind of tweak some of these things here just to make it a little bit better, as far as how I'm putting my foot down. But you can just start this on the ground and then start to work your way up the step. Again, this can be regressed. I definitely suggest you check out, you can just Google the reverse step up, and you should be able to find videos about it. But another good one that I like to build a part of that leg muscle that's not really used a lot in some of your traditional like quadricep workout stuff. So again, you're putting more emphasis on one part of the muscle group, and that muscle group tends to really help with some knee protection, which is important for me because I have really bad knees. So I've really messed up my knees playing hockey when I was younger. So it definitely helps take some of that pressure. And that's kind of how I found the knees over toes guy, which I'm sure if anybody has seen his stuff might have come to it for the same reason. So again, I really have enjoyed implementing some of his things, and it's not perfect at it, but I haven't been doing it that long, and I've been trying to make gains and really work on that area in my exercises. did reps of 14, and the weight was 120. 120. Yeah, 120. I struggled on the last 2 sets. I think I got 13 on those, but anyway, 120 was the weight. All right, so I just finished up. I did 3 sets of 14 with a 20-pound dumbbell. I could not remember what the weight I did last time, so that's why definitely recording yourself will help. As much as it's kind of weird, at least I think it's weird, it's something I've got to get used to. Like it's like hard to look at the camera or something. It's really strange. But anyway, so now I have like a baseline to remember what that weight was. It was the 20-pound dumbbell. So that is my first time doing that exercise, basically the ab pull down with the resistance band. Normally I do it on the pull down machine, but I just did the back pull downs with, the lat pull downs with. The reason why I don't like that, one, is because it's not really designed for that, but I have to use a rope attachment to do it, and it tears up my hand. So I wanted to try this. This wasn't bad. So again, first time doing that, not so bad. Might be an alternative for somebody who doesn't even have a cable machine. So I think I'll try it again. We'll see what happens. I wanted to do that instead of doing some more of the hip flexor work, so give them a break. But yeah, first time doing that one, not so bad. Okay, we are into our final superset of this back workout, and here is a newer exercise I just started doing called the Jefferson curl. Again, I got this from the knees over toes guy, Ben Patrick. This is really for your lower back. So I do this. I just started doing this, and I use another exercise that you'll see in my next back workout, and I flip between the two of these. Again, I just started doing this one, so don't beat me up too bad about it. The thing with the Jefferson curl is that you really want to, keep your legs straight, kind of round your back and go down, and you really don't want to hinge your hips too much. You really just want to focus on bringing that, that weight down, without pushing your hips or like hinging at your hips per se, like in a squat or maybe in a deadlift or something like that. You really want to focus on the lower back. This is an interesting exercise. It can get a little. I mean, it's not hard to do per se, but it's just a little bit different. I guess I'm just getting used to it now. I think my understanding is it also will help you kind of stretch out your hamstrings a little bit. So there's another aspect of it that I like. But I definitely I struggle with my low back, and I don't know why. I've tried to really, correct it and such, but, these are some of the things that I've started doing to really put some emphasis onto my lower back work. And there's another machine that you can use at a gym that you could do lower back workout. I don't have that, so again, I have to be a little bit creative. And then I superset that with the swimmers, which is another exercise that I don't mind doing. I do it with weights, and then just working it, just working it a little bit differently. I think this is more used in physical therapy. I could be wrong. Usually don't see it as much with weight, but I do like doing it with. It's too easy for me without the weight. So, like I said, once it kind of becomes easy for you, don't shy away from throwing a little bit of weight. It doesn't have to be heavy weight. Like, I think these are only 5-pound dumbbells. They're 5 or 10-pound dumbbells. I think they're 5-pound dumbbells. So it doesn't need to be a lot. Focus on your form. Form is one of those things that and that's why I like tracking this stuff and being able to watch myself do it as I sit here and watch it while I'm doing the voiceovers, just to really kind of check my form, which is kind of nice. So I think my Jefferson curl looks pretty good. This is like I said, I never heard of this exercise until I saw it, and then I did some research, and you can see different various YouTube videos about it. So like I said, I think I'm pretty close with decent form on here. And then I do those swimmers as a superset, again, just to get some more of that lower back workout. And then, as always, I always throw the cardio in to prove that I did a little bit of cardio at the end. I haven't been showing my main cardio day. Maybe I'll start throwing those in there. I recorded one of them, but I will overlay them on a video at some point coming up here shortly. But I always do my 6-minute bike ride at the end of my workout, which I always like doing. Well, I wouldn't say I like doing it, but it's just a little different change of pace. It's just something that I've just gotten accustomed to throwing in, and I just keep doing it. So, but I think that's really it for this workout. I don't think there was really anything else, but I hope you, like I always say, I hope you got something out of it. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. If you did, thumbs up the video, like the video. I'm trying to get better at doing this voiceover work. It can be, like I said, for someone who's not used to talking into the phone or whatever, or hearing themselves talk as much, it's a little bit different, but like I think I'm getting a little bit better at it. But I've only done a couple of these, so it's going to take some time. So be patient with me. Like I said, I hope everybody's having a good day out there, and I will see you guys back for the next video. So, Jefferson curl, 4 sets, the first 3 sets with the 20-pound weight, and then I did the last set with the 25-pound weight. So I just finished up at the gym. Overall, I'd say pretty decent. Wouldn't say it was like my best workout or anything like that, but pretty good. Feel pretty good after getting that one done. Like I said, I wish I would have got here a little bit earlier. It's early morning now. Just sitting. I figured I'd change it up, sitting in the clubhouse. Just go over that workout. I did a little bit more kind of, I guess what it's called. I don't know what it's called. Basically just keeping a better record of the weight that I'm doing so that I can track my progress a little bit easier. Speaking to the camera a little bit more. It's still just weird. I'm not like one of these, like I said, I'm not one of these people who vlogs or does anything like that. So this is a new experience for me. But I do want to track this progress. I mean, and just have something to look back on and really see how far, to see kind of, you know, where you start, where you end up. I mean, this is not where I started. I mean, I started this journey, you know, over a year ago. So I wish I would have more. Looking back, I wish I would have more to kind of compare against. I have some more that I'll probably share in the future, mostly just pictures and things like that. But, you know, that's, you know, figured I'd start now. So, like I said, it's been a year. It'd be interesting to see where I'm at in a year from now. But overall, good workout. You know, no complaints. I just keep grinding away, keep getting them done, and you know that's the main thing. You know, stay consistent. I always say that's what I've said in the first video. Stay consistent. You can stay consistent. You know, you have a better chance of to hitting your goals of, you know, whatever you set out. As far as, at least, you know, for me in the, you know, in the fitness aspect of really getting to a weight that I want to be at. But that's it for tonight. Like I said, I'm sitting right next to a fire. It's actually pretty warm. I'm sitting in a hoodie, and I, you know, just finished working out. But other than that, you know, let's call it a night, and I'll see you guys for the next workout.